When we take a look at the scriptures, how many times in the Old Testament the prophets talked about the mercy of God? Jesus in his ministry, how many times he would heal people and then say, your sins are forgiven. Jesus at the cross, as he is nailed to the cross, forgives the good thief and says, today you will be with me in paradise. And then he says, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. The mercy that flows from Jesus throughout his life, throughout his ministry, and now at the time of his resurrection, 3 times in this resurrection story, where Jesus appears to the apostles and says, peace be with you. Jesus came to be able to give us peace. And then after the resurrection and Pentecost, the apostles were messengers of that peace and healing. St. Paul would say we are all called to be ambassadors of reconciliation. This is called, on the second Sunday, the Sunday of Mercy. It is Mercy Sunday. This comes primarily through a simple sister in the 1930s who received this message to be able to pass on to the church this feast of mercy. We often see that image of Jesus, mercy, Jesus, I trust in you, where we see the rays coming out of white symbolizing baptism, the red of Eucharist, but it is symbolizing how God's mercy comes to embrace us. I like to say the chaplet of mercy, because this chaplet of mercy is calling upon mercy on our world, and it's calling it upon ourselves. Think about it. The 20th century, when this was given to Faustina, St. Faustina, this was the most violent century in the history of the world. More people died in this century than any other century. And so is it any wonder that God said, I want this century, I want this time to mark off my mercy for the people. And so when I pray the chaplet, I find it a daily devotion to be able to say, Lord, have mercy on our world, so that through your mercy we might be reconciled with you. But I also find it valuable because when I pray this chaplet of mercy, it's a way of saying, Lord, sometimes I caused the damage. And therefore, Lord, I call you to have mercy upon me so that I can be a minister or an instrument of your peace to others. So on this Sunday, if you don't know the life of Faustina, look it up, read it, study it, learn the chaplet, and pray it during the year. Pray it for yourselves and pray it for peace in our world.